All right. Hello and welcome to whatever this is. Um, I'm back from the dead. I say that as if anybody gives a shit. And I posted only 2 videos before my brain said I have had enough of this hobby, and I just couldn't film anything. I had a little dip in my mental health. Not feeling that much better, but finally had the energy and the motivation to actually record something. So I just thought, I'll just bring back Welcome to My Brain. Initially, I started it as kind of a video journal section because I have a lot in my head, so I have to put it somewhere. And I've tried writing, but I find that I process better when I talk. So I really I'm just thinking about uploading this. So what you're gonna get in this video is just 3 things. One is about my social media hiatus. I'm taking a little social media cleanse. And then I'm gonna talk about therapy and stuff. Also, about seeking a job, because I'm a university graduate and I have been working my ass off to work up the courage to find a job. And I'll talk about that later. I've been avoiding social media for, I think it's about a week now. Maybe 2. Can't remember. But mainly, it's because I want to get back on my feet and I want to be able to move on from this phase in my life. And I want to get better, and I really want to actively try harder. And I feel like social media, particularly Instagram, it's just sucking the life out of me. And I'm glad that I noticed the pattern quickly enough to be able to just cut it and stop it now before it got worse. And I think for a long time, at least for the past year, I've been depending on TikTok to restore the life and the joy in my soul. And then I would just go back to Instagram and it would just take all of my energy again, and it's just so tiring. So the cycle of going back and forth between Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube has been so detrimental to my health. I think my daily screen time could go 14 hours a day. Initially, I felt like Instagram was really fun because I get to keep up with my friends and I get to update my friends about my life, until I realized that the Instagram stories are the reason why I feel unhappy. I would consume life updates from people that matter less to me than others because of how adamant I am about opening Instagram 4 times a day. I feel like I'm not communicating and I'm not connecting with the people that actually matter. I always forget to reply to texts, and it's horrible. It's so bad to the point that I would reply more than 24 hours later, and sometimes I would forget and then remember a week later. It's horrible, and I feel like my addiction to Instagram kind of contributes to that. I feel like I keep my connections close and that I'm always up to date with people's lives, when really really, it's just, it's so bad. I don't know what my friends are going through, and it's no more fun being on Instagram because everyone's trying to, it's like a competition. It's sucking the joy out of it, and I think that's why I'm now on TikTok more. It's just more fun. People are very funny on TikTok. Another reason why I had to like cut off from Instagram for a little bit is because I realized that from past experience, I think any social media platform that I use tend to end up becoming this platform where I vent. I remember watching Dodie, and I don't know who she filmed with, but she was talking about how your venting and that dumping on social media is like empty calories. I think her friend mentioned that to her, that it might feel good to let your emotions go on the internet, but in reality it's not a void, it's a platform, and there's a receiving end to whatever you post on social media. So you end up not getting to solve your problems, and you also end up worrying the people on the other side. You might not even know what to do with that information. They're like, what the hell? What is she said? I thought she was fine 5 minutes ago and she was hanging out with me. And I realized I do that to my friends. And I want to stop. I want to foster better friendships and better relationships and just talk until I am able to balance the usage of social media and also my communication with my loved ones. I don't know if I'm going back to Instagram. I really don't know. You can follow me on there, but what's the point if I'm not going to be there? I don't know why I talk like you care. It's okay. I'm full of myself, and I know people care. Speaking of dealing with shit, and also just the general lack of it, I finally am seeking help. Well, I have been seeking help, but I finally have the privilege of getting therapy from the local hospital that I go to in my hometown, and I'm seeing a psychologist, and it's been okay. It's been good. I feel like if you're not interested in mental health things, or you're just not interested about therapy, you're not going to take interest in what I want to talk about. So I thought of sharing some things that I learned from therapy. Hopefully, it might be useful to you, but I've always thought that I would need like CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy. But I've been introduced to a different kind of therapy, which is called ACT or ACT, which stands for Acceptance and Commitment Therapy. And at first I thought, I don't know if that's gonna help me. But I think after just 3 sessions, this has been a pretty good journey so far. I feel like there's a lot of things that I could learn still, but the things that I have learned have been really helpful. We talked about mindfulness meditation. I never thought that I was a meditation kind of person. I always thought the only meditation I would do was just prayers, which is a whole other discussion that was really interesting and I want to talk about maybe in the future. I had to deal with the fact that I wasn't dealing with my emotions and I was rejecting my emotions. I think that mindfulness meditation really helped with setting a neutral ground that all emotions are just what it is, that they are emotions. They're not good or bad, they are just a human reaction, and they are natural. And other than that, like, I also had to learn to understand that thoughts and feelings are not facts. And that was really hard. I feel really surprised that I get to sit down and, be calm, and in my calm state, I'm able to process these things. It's definitely harder when you're emotional. When you're emotional, it's hard to be logical, and that's true. I do a lot of shitty things when I'm emotional. You owe yourself kindness, just the same as how you give to people, other people, kindness. No one can tell me this, only I can tell me this, and maybe my therapist. But otherwise, I wouldn't be able to believe in that. I would be so annoyed. I would be so irritated if someone tells me, oh, feelings are just a normal human reaction. I would punch them in the face. I would punch them because it's not helpful at all. I feel stupid for saying it out loud now, but because it sounds so simple, but it really is wonderful so far for me. I don't know, I really liked what I learned. And I think with ACT, my biggest successes are that one, I finally got over my fear of making a resume, because it's not the end of the world if I don't do it right, I am so paralyzed by the need to do something so perfect that I don't do it because I don't know how to do it perfectly. I know it sounds so simple, but it's such a big achievement for me because it took me more than 6 months to even start. And another achievement, I think, is how compassionate and kind I can be to myself. I'm usually really harsh. Like, all my life, I've always been like, oh, you're so stupid. Ganito po yung itao ka. You should know all these things. But I think I'm so used to being that way to myself. I didn't realize I deserve kindness from myself too. Nobody else but me. Speaking of communicating and improvements and resumes, I am finally able to voice it out to the universe, and to my therapist and my parents, that these are the reasons why I'm afraid of getting a job. And I'm finally able to get past that phase of constant fear to finally being able to do something about it. I know that I underestimated the sheer breadth of challenges that comes with seeking a job, and the many things I don't have. I don't have networking skills. I don't have interview skills. I don't have self-marketing skills. So it's like there are so many qualities that I feel like I don't have. And then plus, my just anxiety and depression. Just it piles on top of everything, and it makes it feel like an impossible hurdle. But you know what? I drafted a resume. I drafted a resume and a Google Sites page. And I'm so proud of myself. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna hype myself up. There's so many other aspects that I have to work on. If I list all of these things down, right now, I would just be paralyzed. I would be overwhelmed. But I've learned from the past 6 months, I've learned that I have to do it one by one. I don't have a choice. And I know this can't think two things at once. I can't even do my makeup and talk at once. If you watch my previous video, I was actually ranting about cruelty-free stuff, but I was incoherent. My points were incongruent. They make absolutely no sense. They do not link up to each other, and it was so difficult to edit. I decided to just talk about the makeup. Like, it might sound really simple to other people, but these are things that I need to do for my own survival. To me, it's what keeps me going, and I know it's what I need to do. I'm not on anybody else's timeline. I'm on my own timeline, and 6 months may feel like a long time, but as long as I'm progressing, that's good enough for me right now. Just last week, I was really so paralyzed by how much that I want or I need to do that I can't do anything. I realized that sometimes when I'm in that state of paralysis, I just have to do something else. And what I did in the past couple of days when I couldn't do anything is that I researched another thing. I researched on matchas, and I found out the variety of matchas and their origins and the usage and the different grades. My cat is here. Uh-oh. Can you please not scratch on my book? We have the devil. Can you please go somewhere else? Thank you. So it's great to divert when you feel like I can't deal with this thing that I need to do, and I also can't deal with this thing that I want to do. Just find something else easier to do. You know, you don't have to make it like an assignment. You can just research something for the heck of it. Like types of matchas, I guess. It created a momentum, I think, for me to be able to do something that I want to do. I think one of the issues I still am trying to deal with is just the general worry and anxiety of about my own employability when it comes to, like, I have a mental health record, and I try to remind myself that these thoughts of these worries that are like sticky and annoying, they're not something that I necessarily have to get rid of. There's a thing that I learned about diffusion. You know, these thoughts are there because your brain is trying to protect you, and that your brain wants to help you. It's trying to remind you that there are other things that you need to do, but it's important that you acknowledge them and thank them, I guess, for reminding you, and say that, you know, you're going to deal with it, but right now you have something else to deal with. I'm putting you aside. You're very relevant and valid. I just have other things to deal with right now. Well, that's all I have for today. It feels so simplistic right now to say, but it took me a lot to just put myself in front of the camera just for this. But I think for me, this has always been an important thing in my life, to share with people and to be able to create a space where people can talk about their mental health and what they go through. And that is my face when I realized that my memory card was full. So, this is my voiceover. I just wanted to say that I know it might seem like, what's the point? Asa minani na share benda-benda macam ni on the internet. It's because it's always been important to me to have or to share a safe space to be able to talk about mental health issues. Because when you share something that you go through, people might hear it and realize that they're not alone. Of course, my DMs are open, but I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna open my Instagram. So if you feel like sending me a DM just to share how you're feeling and how you're doing, you can go to @SabiFadli and drop me a message. Sorry for the clear lack of preparation for this video. I just had a burst of energy and I said, I'm gonna record a video today. And lastly, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you have a pleasant day wherever you are. Okay, bye!